Meet Your Maker gameplay has been revealed, and it looks a little bit like Doom meets Mario Maker. We're going to be breaking it down and checking out the official overview that IGN put out. So if you like these kind of breakdowns, be sure to hit subscribe and the bell button. Usually, I'm in a full screen like this, and usually I'm not seeing it and hanging out with my brother, and it's a talk show format. So if you like these kind of shows, be sure to hit subscribe and the bell button. That way you don't miss out on my content. We streamed just this morning and talked about the Xbox Series S and how Microsoft is attempting to address the memory issues in that console, and I'm going to go ahead and end that stream and bring everybody over and do a redirect. And my wife's bringing down lunch. I'm doing the intro, babe.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This is the intro to a new video. So if you're watching this video, my wife sometimes comes down, brings me down lunch, and she came in the room and is kind of goofing. So we're a little bit out of the ordinary right now, and I'm bringing people over from that previous stream. So what we're going to do is we're going to check out this footage. I'm actually going to let it. I don't know if I can. I probably don't have. Do I have this right? Yes. All right. Let me stop my music and let me let the video start.
Welcome everybody, welcome, very excited to be here today. My name is Morgan and I am here the community manager at Behaviour working on Meet Your Maker. So we've just presented to you Meet Your Maker through the Behaviour Beyond event. You've seen a little bit of it, but today we're going to be diving into the world of Meet Your Maker and we will be showing you some gameplay. So it's very exciting. You will be able to, of course, play the game very soon because we'll be going through a closed playtest. And in order to join, you can already go on the website and sign up for the playtest. Very easy. Just go there, sign up, join us, play the game. So to talk about Meet Your Maker, I'm not alone today. I'm joined by amazing people who've been working on the game throughout many years now. And I'm joined by Ash, who is our creative director. Then I'm also joined by Inouk, who is our game designer and is our building expert. And then I'm joined by Pierre, who is our lead game designer and is our rating expert. So we've just revealed Meet Your Maker to the world. Very exciting. It's the first time we're seeing the game, and I want to learn a bit more about how you feel to be here today. Can you tell us a bit more about that, Ash?
Well, I think I speak for all of us when I say just how excited we are to reveal Behaviour Interactive's newest original game, Meet Your Maker. I'm looking forward to being able to tell you all about our take on building and raiding. The game's been in development for a while now, and we're still quite a long way away from the end. But we're going to be showing you some of our work from the latest build of our game.
Well, that's exciting to hear. I want to hear a bit more about what you feel about this, Pierre. Can you tell us?
Absolutely. So
I had to mute there. My wife and he were talking, so I muted our mics. I wanted to give these guys an opportunity, though, to talk about their games. I'm just kind of letting it play. I want to hear how they frame this. We'll be unmuted now, though. So,
like on my side, like everyone here, I'm super happy to finally be able to reveal the game, start getting some activity and feedback on it from the community. I'm especially interested in seeing the reception of our raiding gameplay and kind of what people are thinking about that.
Ah, that's cool. We'll be seeing you a bit more later to talk about raiding.
Oh, yeah.
Now I want to turn to you now, Inouk. Can you tell us more?
Look at him, look at him.
Absolutely. So on my side, I'm eager to see what the community has in store for us once they put their hand on the tools we provide for them. I want them to build beautiful outposts, and I want them to build deadly outposts.
Well, that's all very, very exciting, and I cannot wait to go through our event and everything we have in store for you today. So as I mentioned, a bit earlier, we will have a playtest. You will be able to play this game. You will be able to try it. And the playtest is actually coming on the 23rd of August. So
I didn't know that. So August 23rd, we'll be able to test this out. Hopefully we get in. I signed up for it. For those of you that don't know, this is basically like Doom and Mario Maker had a baby. Do me a favor. It's a new stream, though. We redirected. Make sure you're on live chat so you can see what everybody's saying, and smash the like button. It helps us out. Give us those first 100 likes for the video.
So it's coming very, very soon. So stay tuned because we'll share with you how you will be able to sign up to our closed playtests. So before we dive into gameplay, because I know you're very excited about seeing the game, I want to understand a little bit more about what Meet Your Maker is all about and what makes Meet Your Maker Meet Your Maker.
So it being an open playtest, if she said that, that's exciting. You still have to do it through Steam. You have to like go press the button. So I don't know if she said open playtest. I thought you had to like go and request access. Maybe they're going to give everybody access that does that.
So I'm going to turn to you, Ash, and please, can you tell us a little bit more? Give us an overview of what the game is.
So, Meet Your Maker is a futuristic first-person building and raiding game where every level is built by players for other players. And you're going to be able to switch between these two roles, either building deadly maze-like outposts filled with lethal traps and guards, or gearing up for methodical, fast-paced raiding and trying to tackle these player-built creations. It's two very different gameplays that come together into one core game. So on one side, you've got the building, where you'll strategically be building the deadliest outpost you can to try and kill trespassing players. It's creative, cunning, and thoughtful gameplay. And then on the other side, you've got the raiding. It's completely different, and this is where you're going to raid these player-built outposts. You're going to die, retry, adapt, and eventually overcome the challenge that's in front of you. And it's really dynamic and methodical. And both building and raiding can both be done in co-op, which is great. And of course, at the heart...
I didn't know this had co-op. That's really exciting. That'll be really fun. We could do some fun community game nights with this where like you guys design courses and like Hilly and I have to run them together. That could be hilarious.
Part of the whole experience beats the user-generated content that really connects players, brings the whole thing together, creates variety and replayability, and is endlessly entertaining in the way that only your community can build for you.
Wow. So you were mentioning raiding, right? And I want to turn to you, Pierre, because I want to learn more about raiding in Meet Your Maker. Tell us more, please.
Yes, let's talk about raiding. Raiding is all about action. It's surprising. It's brutal. Your goal when you're raiding is to get into the outpost, steal the genetic material, and get out of there without dying, or with dying at least the least amount of time as possible. This will be challenging since every outpost is player built and does very unique and different. Every raid is different. In order to succeed as a raider, you'll be able to fully customize your loadout. You do that by picking a suit with up to 3 perks, equipping yourself with 2 weapons from the range, melee, and defensive weapon category. And finally, you will be able to complement your loadout by picking 2 hardware consumables that will be able to complement your play styles. Every raider also comes equipped with a grappling hook, and it comes equipped that is very useful to avoid danger and also reach the higher ground. It was important for us from the beginning when we decided to make Meet Your Maker that the game was very accessible to all types of player and offered like support all types of play style. So whether you want to be slower calculated or faster daring, the game offers you the tools to do that. Raiding is methodical. You must be on your toes because everything in there is out to kill you and you'll die in one shot. So every death also reveals a new strategy for you to learn from, adapt, and survive.
All right. Well, I'm getting to know a little bit more about raiding, but of course, raiding is linked to building, right? Because every outpost is created by the community. So I want to turn to you, Inuk, and I want to learn more about building. So can you tell us a little bit more?
Absolutely. So building is all about creating a perfect death trap to kill other players. So as Pierre was mentioning, raiding is quick. It's fast-paced. Contrary to raiding, building is done at your own pace. Players will not raid your outpost until you are ready, until you activate the outpost and put it online. While you're building, you will become a devious mastermind in order to kill the trespassing players. To kill them, you'll need a combination of both strategic and creative thinking in order to lure and outwit the raiders. You will start by purchasing a plot of land. You're going to build up the structure, and then you're going to fortify it using traps and guards. You'll be able to record the guards on patrols in order to surprise and flank the player. When you're ready, and only when you're ready, you can activate your outpost and matchmake it online. That's when players will start to raid it, and that's when you start getting those sweet, sweet kills.
Well, I got to learn a little bit more about, the core gameplay of Meet Your Maker, but I want to understand the story behind it because we are in this awesome set, so of course it's related. So tell us more about the story behind Meet Your Maker.
Meet Your Maker is set on Earth in the far future, and as you can see, the world is dying. And this is a story of survival of the entire human race. Humanity has now come to the brink of extinction after the world was devastated by a genetic disease. But there is still hope, and it comes in the bodies of some ancient dead people who still have uncorrupted genetics in their bones that you can extract and bring back. And your goal is to head out into the wasteland, extract this genetic material from your plot of land, or going to steal it from other people's outposts.
So now that we learn a little bit more about the game, we're going to go through some gameplay. We're going to go through a full raiding and building session. So first, I want to understand what we have in front of us right now. So can you tell us what is going on, Ash?
All right, so welcome to the Sanctuary, your home and safe haven. And it's from here that you set out to engage in either the building or the raiding gameplay. Now, because the game is asynchronous, you can choose how you want to play. Either the raiding or the building, depends on what you're in the mood for at the time. It's also the home of a character known as the Chimera. Now, the Chimera is the focal point of the Sanctuary, and everything that happens here is done for the Chimera. The Chimera was the one who brought you to this world, and it instructs you on how you have to survive, and survival is the key. And the first thing the Chimera tells you is that the world is almost dead, and from here, it's up to you. Your goal is to head out and bring genetic material back to try and improve the Chimera and perhaps one day save the world. To help you in the task, you have these 5 advisors. These are clones that are created by the Chimera to help you, and they're really important as they're the way you gain all your new equipment for raiding and building. Each one has their own story to tell, and it's through them that you'll learn a little bit more about what has happened in the years that you have missed. And they will also help you in your goal to find the genetic material. So out of the windows, you'll see the wasteland, this disease-ravaged landscape where nothing human can survive. Out there, in the remains of a few dead, ancient bodies might lie a cure for the disease that has brought the world to the brink of extinction. Deep in that disease belt lie the sites where the genetic material...
You really need the ability to like clean your eye out. You know, like kind of get some stuff in your eye sometimes. Like your fingers just like come right at your eyeball.
People like pick up a box of Kleenex and blow your nose.
Yeah, really dig in there. Clean it out. Guys, could we get 100 likes? We need 18 likes. This is not... We are currently not going in the direction I wanted to see with this game. I was hoping people would be pretty pumped about it. Don't forget the Reforge Roundtable is coming out, so just hang with us while we kind of watch this and break it down and kind of joke about it. This is a Meet Your Maker gameplay being shown off by IGN, a brand new game from the guys from Dead by Daylight.
Material is found, and it's up to you to build an outpost to extract it. Or, someone's got there first, it's time to suit up and go and steal it from them. So you're going to bring this stream of genetic material back to the Sanctuary and use it to level up each of these advisors. This, in turn, makes the Chimera stronger, and the Chimera will reward you with equipment, either traps and guards for building, or suits, weapons, and hardware for raiding.
So this is the command center. The command center is a very important part of your hub. It is from here that players will be able to pick outposts to raid or build.
Prompt
on the raid map, outposts will be categorized by size, difficulty, and type of genetic material that they will yield. We're now going to enter Metuchen, a medium difficulty outpost built by Inuk, which is bound to be a great one. So here we enter.
Yeah, so the invite friends thing is gone. It's probably when you're in the that's like the social space, I think.
Oh, like a hub almost?
Mm-hmm. That's why it was there.
Never mind, then that makes sense.
Enter a raid, this is what you see. Every time you enter a raid, you land on this a landing pad a short distance away from the outpost. You're in a safe zone. While in a safe zone, nothing can harm you. It provides you with the opportunity to change your loadout if you so want to.
Air traffic baton, like he's going to wave a flight.
You can get a good view of the outpost. In the case of this one, it's obviously quite impressive. Around us, we notice the wasteland. But what I'm really interested in is what's inside this outpost in the middle of this plot of land there. On the left is the shipping station that is used to send the genetic material back to the Sanctuary. Every outpost has one. We'll come back to it soon. Meet Your Maker controls are very intuitive and super accessible. We have a jump, a double jump, and a grapple, to add mobility. It was important for us from the beginning that the game was very easy to pick up and play. Out there is nothing. This is what's left of the world, basically a land of death. Now that I know that this outpost is out to get me, I got to be careful. It's always a good idea to kind of scope the area, the exterior of it, kind of get a bearing of the land and find the entrance. This is the harvester. It brings the genetic material from deep within the outpost to the shipping station. If I want to find the genetic material inside the outpost,
That's the guy from Death Stranding.
I can follow it, and what is it? And I'll kind of know exactly where.
It's the Death Stranding retirement years. It's just
This sucks.
he's crawling around, putting boxes on his back.
Where the gen mat is. So I'm going to just follow him, kind of look around, make sure there's no traps around that are going to be able to take me out. I know there's bound to be some danger around here. Here, my danger indicator informs me that there was a hidden bolt shot trap. In the corner, I was able to quickly dodge it.
This is an indie
The
dev?
bolt shot trap is a long-range trap that spots the player in front of it, and it will shoot straight.
Yeah,
You
it's a
just gotta
smaller
avoid the
dev
volley of
company.
arrows that comes out of it. Here I spot this other bolt shot. Ammo is scarce in the wasteland. A ranged weapon have limited ammo. If you fire a projectile weapon, you want to be sure to retrieve your projectiles in order to be able to reload and use it again. Oh, there was a clever trap combo here, placed by a nuke that I was able to survive. We saw the bomb ejector releasing a series of bouncing bombs.
So the limited ammo thing is going to be really interesting because you have to. I'm assuming this is going to be like Mario Maker. Did they say that people have to beat? Are you going to have to actually beat the thing to get through it? Did they say that? Like, that would be the question I would have. Because if they really, really limit your ammo, how are you going to get through an area sometimes? You know what I'm saying? That would be my question. You have 3 shots. I mean, he got his ammo back, but I'm just, like, somebody could set up, like, a really stupid course, and then you wouldn't be able to do anything. You wouldn't be able to get through it because you get 3 shots. This entire map is just booby trap. What am I looking for to beat it? You get resources, and you use those resources to invest in different things. As far as I know, those resources are helping the world, but I don't know if they're helping you. Did they say what you do with the resources? I might have missed that. That was at the very beginning. But yeah, the point of beating it is to get resources while you're in there. You're basically scavenging and looting, and you're bringing it back. So it's like Mario Maker and Doom had a baby. Like, he's moving through a course that one of the other guys there built. Like, somebody actually built this course that he's going through right now. And he's dodging traps, but there's also enemies. So that he's about to fight an enemy for the first time.
Those are nasty because you never know where they're going to end up. Below was my first encounter with 2 guards. These are the Enforcer guards. They're range units that challenge the player at mid-range. I'm able to shoot the first one and grapple to the second one and take it out.
So he's not just moving through it. He's moving and shooting so that he gets his ammo back. Oh, yeah, you got to watch out for that. Yeah. He's getting his ammo back. Like, he's actually being strategic, not just with dodging traps, but like with how he uses his ammo. It's actually pretty interesting.
So what you're going to see here is a cache that contains a whole lot of the building material that you're going to use later in the game to build all your outposts. And what's really interesting about these is the builders have them placed on the plot of land before they start building, so they can use them as a lure for the raiders, because they know the raiders are going to want to come and get this precious resource, and so they can set traps around them and all kinds of different things.
Exactly. So here, continuing, I'm able to get back into it. I spot this other bolt shot trap, probably aiming at, hoping to get me in the back. I was able to take it out. Here we have a new trap also. It's called the incinerator. This trap looks amazing. It's special because it will trigger multiple times. Too many of these in tight quarters and you'll be toast quickly. I'm able to take it out here. And here I get killed by a 2-trap combo. I got grappled by the iron claw that grabbed me and pulled me into the area of the other trap that is the impaler, which swiftly took care of me. So now that I know a bit more about this outpost...
That hat.
Let's see. Wait, cooks his meals in there. I immediately was sort of in the zone with the game. When he went in that room, I was like, what are you doing? Like, he didn't check his corners. Like, this is going to be like a pulse-pounding game. You know what I'm saying? Like, as soon as he went in that room and didn't check the corner, I was like, oh, he's a dead man. And then I saw the red flash, and he got grabbed. And then he didn't just get grabbed. He got grabbed, and he got pulled, and he shot the trap that grabbed him, and then another trap got him. He's wearing a walk.
I used to be a crash test dummy. Now I'm the real one.
Pose that I'm facing, I will go ahead and modify my loadout a little. First, I will go and remove my Fury's Edge sword and replace it for a more defensive weapon, the Arc Barrier. The Arc Barrier is amazing because it lacks offensive capabilities, but it gives me that little extra survivability that I want by creating an invulnerability bubble around me for a short time. I will also go ahead and remove my blast grenade and replace it with the spike drive, which gives me a bit of a speed boost when I need to, get out of dodge quickly.
Now, the most important thing you need to know about restarting an outpost.
From the little bit I've seen of people playing Rust and griefing each other and stuff, it's similar aesthetic, I suppose.
It actually reminds me more of Rage than Doom. You remember Rage?
I don't.
The crossbows, him picking up bolts and stuff. This reminds me a lot of Rage.
Is that everything resets. All the traps, all the guards, they're all going to reset. And every time you die, this happens.
Am I getting paid by the devs to grow hype for this generic game? No.
No, I'm getting paid. Just me.
He's joking. He's joking. We would have to disclose if this was a sponsored stream. Now, the stream is marked sponsored because I have product placement in the stream. I'm wearing Gunner Optics, a shirt from 80s Tees. I actually think his shirt's from 80s Tees, too. Well, it's not from there, but you can get it there. And then the displays in the back. But no, this is not a sponsored stream. I don't do that. And if I do that, I would disclose that and tell you that in the description of the video.
But every time you die, you're also going to gain the most important thing of all, which is knowledge. And with this knowledge, you're free to move much faster back through the outpost. You're going to know the traps, where they happen, and how to deal with them. You can use the grapple hook to go even faster to get you back to where you were, which Pierre is doing. And now you're going to come into a room, you're going to have these guards. He's going to use his new loadout here. You're going to see him using the arc barrier to deflect those shots and make very quick work of these guards. And then soon enough, he'll be right back where he was, about to tackle this particularly nasty trap combo in Nuke build here. But again, he knows about it now. It's all fine. He's going to take care of it, and he's going to move on.
Okay, here we see the appearance of our first melee unit, the Warmonger. It's a very imposing unit that'll rush you and attempt to slice you up with his bladed arms. And here's another Warmonger. This one is modified with plating armor that gives it extra survivability. In this case,
it's not really a shooter. I mean, it is, but it isn't. Because he's not even shooting like bullets. He's shooting like a bolt. Yeah. So there's not a lot of like player feedback. It seems like it's not really shooting them. It's like they just fall down.
Yeah. And the traps are kind of slow. Mm-hmm. I'm wondering if you could ramp up their reaction time to make it harder.
Yeah, he punched the one. Did you see? Like the one
he has almost a full second. It seems like before the traps get him. So.
It's going to be on all platforms, so I wonder if that's the problem. Is on a mouse and keyboard, you'd be able to quick twitch, flip.
Yeah.
But on a controller, you couldn't do that. So if they make the traps too fast, it would break down.
Yeah, it might be more about figuring out the sequence of the traps and doing the room in the right order rather than having millisecond reaction time. Who is this game for?
Who's this game for? I mean, I actually think people dig this kind of thing. It's the Halo Forge effect. People want there's going to be a map maker for Fall Guys. I think people like it. I think people like the idea of making courses and making people go through the courses. Mario Maker was a hit. I think this will be a streamer hit. I think there'll be certain streamers that this goes really well for. Roundtable scheduled and written up in group DM. Please approve. Did you see that? Move all on its own?
There's a ghost.
Stupid mic boom. I hate that thing. Here's a roundtable scheduled gaming this week, episode 9. Next reason the Jeff Grow. Yeah, that's fine. It looks good, creature. All right, let's keep watching.
You have to break the armor, reveal the flesh, and then shoot another shot to be able to get the kill. Both guards and traps can be customized in various ways to alter their basic behavior. Here, moving ahead a little. Oh, I'm able to, yes, this is where I use the arc barrier. or the flash barrier, I should say, deploys a small shield of invulnerability around me. From the safety of them, I'm able to take out these 2 guards.
He's also not ADSing. I don't know if there's an ADS. He's not aiming down sight. He's just hip firing that weapon, which I think people looking for like a really intense shooter are probably going to feel like the shooting in this game is not that great, but this is just one weapon. They haven't showcased both. But I will say the shooting is where I think a lot of people are going to say it feels basic, flat, yeah.
I retrieve my ammo, able to move a little further into the outpost, and finally I reach the objective. This is the reason why the player is there. You want to grab this, escape with it, and then with the least amount of deaths possible, and bring it back to your sanctuary so you can level up your advisors and unlock the new progression. Now I have to be careful because the moment I grab this, the outpost will go into second wave. What appears there is that once I grab the gen mat, this new trap appeared, this new guard appeared, challenging me even further. The outpost alarms are blaring, and that means that the new traps and guards can become active everywhere. Now that I got the gen mat, my primary goal is to leave the outpost, obviously without dying. And as a raider, you always have to remain careful.
I think a game like this would appeal, like if you had buddies who like to play maps that you made, or you could make maps for each other, like in a smallish group of maybe real life or community friends. Or if you were really, really good and you could release it and people, and like there was some sort of like thumbs up, thumbs down system, like this is the best one of the last month, everybody loves this particular guy, his maps are the best. So you could by get an idea before trying them, the quality, like this one's everybody loves this one, this guy over here, his maps are terrible, so don't waste your time. But wide appeal, I don't know.
Well, it's community driven because like the Mario Maker thing, like really good levels would get voted,
right?
And then the guys that loved running them and the speedrunners, like they would try them, you know. It does look pretty compressed, Zubair. It's probably however they did capture, and this is a stream. So right now you're dealing with whatever studio they went through to capture gameplay. That gameplay went through a capture card, went through a computer, and it went through a stream ingest server. So we're not getting a great look at graphics. So I would say that the graphics are probably fine. It's also not the main focus of the game. I think the concept they're putting on display now is pretty cool too. You're not just building a trap, like a linear trap where they go through and get the thing. They also then have to get out. Like that's cool too. So I actually think that one of the more challenging things in this will be to design really good courses. You have to design a course that's fun, satisfying, and challenging to go through, but then to also leave. I think people are going to start to realize how hard game design is.
Until you officially made it out. Because even if you have the gen map, a player, if you die during this exit, you will have to restart the outpost from scratch, as Ash was saying. No time is wasted, however, and even if you die and you retry, you will keep all of your resources and you'll be able to kind of just keep trying again. Clearly, Inuk has put a lot of traps here on the way out, and it's dangerous for me. So I believe I will be using my spike drive very shortly in order to be able to escape and kind of bypass all the traps that are on the way out and kind of make my way out. You're not getting me this time, Inuk. And here I think I do the double jump out of there, and here we go. I finally made it out. That was a really fun outpost.
Thank you.
Good job. So finally, as the raider, you're able to give the builder props, basically give him some accolades. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and give it an ingenious and fun accolade for this one.
So now that we've been through...
So I actually think this could be one of those games that does get a cult following. Like the idea of like, oh, that was a good outpost. Like I think people could latch onto this. I don't think this will be like a huge... I don't think it'd be a hugely popular game, but I could see this thing garnering a cult following. People could really dig it and enjoy making the courses and stuff. Co-op as a feature can't be understated. This would be so much more fun with Hilly constantly getting killed by traps.
That's a description of every game.
That's true.
This would be a lot better if Hilly was failing.
Yeah, it'd be a lot better if Hilly was in there just dying. Hope they'll show more difficult courses at the end of the vid, because right now it looks kind of meh. Okay, am I the only one that thinks it should be third person.
You'd be able to see more, like you'd have a wider field of view of your character in relation to the traps, but it might be hard to navigate the running around in third person quickly.
Yeah. The grapple and how the aiming is all hip fire. Like, if you're never really aiming down sight and you don't have, like, quick, tight shooting that's needed, I'm like, this would be so dope as a third person, because especially because I think the character looks cool, like a metal junk samurai, like a steampunk samurai.
What's the, is this like Game Pass? What would it cost for people that want to play it?
Oh, I don't know if they've announced a price. I think it'll probably be around a $20 or $30 game, though. Yeah, but for FOV and the shooting, first for sure. Yeah, third person would let you see around corners. That would kind of ruin the yeah, you guys are right. Because a lot of the surprise elements, you know, you can lean around corners, though.
Is there a lean?
Yeah, they did. He leaned
like
a couple of times.
Mechanic almost?
Yeah, he leaned a couple of times.
That
So
would
I
make
guess
it-
third person wouldn't dramatically change. Oh, there's a PlayStation blog about it. Okay, we can check that in a second.
Through rating, we've learned a lot more about rating. Thanks to you, Pierre. We want to go through building because, of course, you know, if there is rating, there is also building because every outpost is created by someone. So we want to turn.
You know, as somebody who's been in this environment, like professional hosting, if I showed up and they're like, you got to sit on these crates, no backs on the chairs, no cushions, I'd be like, man, come on, bro.
They don't
Like,
look comfortable at all.
it's a cool set. It's a cool set. You got to be sitting on a freaking crate, you know? Based on Dead by Daylight, it won't be full priced. Yeah, I would not think so. I want third person so I can see a full room before I go into it. Go to the bit room. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
To you now, Inuk, because you're a building expert. So I want to know all about building. I want to share all your secrets. So come on, tell us.
All right, so welcome to building. This is a freshly bought plot of land. So as you can see, it comes up with a couple of blocks already in there, probably legacies from another time. What we're going to be focusing on for now is that little dotted line. That is the harvester path. This is the path that the harvester will take between the extractor that we see on screen here and the shipping station that we saw at the entrance. So that path is very important because this is how you're going to be preparing your outpost. This is probably the path the raider will take to get to that gen mat. So you want to build it up. You want to be able to modify it. So by placing down new blocks, it's possible for you to change that path. Keep in mind that the harvester will always try to use the shortest path possible. So by removing blocks, adding some obstructions in there, will make that path change.
So I like that. That's super intuitive because, yeah, Eugene's showing the Dead by Daylight Steam charts. They have a very solid base to sell to. Yeah, I think this game will do very well. I think it'll have a good cult following. I don't think it'll be like mainstream popularity, but I think this game will do well. I like how intuitive this is because how am I supposed to know what route the character is going to take unless I specifically keep, like, save it, do a short run myself. Save it, do a short run myself. Having the harvester literally do, like, you remember that the Sunday Comics cartoon with the family circus?
Yeah.
It's basically doing that. So, like, you know, if you've created bad logic, they just did that with the the route's broken.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's great because what you could do is very, very quickly and intuitively create a really elaborate, crazy route, and then you lay traps along the route. I think this is very smart how they've done this.
If you break that path, it will become red. And at that point, we're going to give you some hints as to what's wrong with the path. And you can remove that block and bring it back.
Ooh, I really like this menu with all the different blocks. I like the colors, the variation. I'm all about making the outpost my own, right? I'm all about fashion. It's very visible. So, of course, I love to make the outpost my own. So the fact that we have different style already, really liking it.
So right now, I'm using mostly one single block because I'm trying to do something very specific here. I've got something in my mind. I'm not going to reveal to you what it is yet because as I'm building, you're going to see it. But that's the greatest part of Meet Your Maker is we're gonna give you as much tools as we can so that you can create your own stuff. We want the builders out there to have as much fun as possible to create outposts that represent them, or maybe not them, but something they want to show people. So as you can see, I finished the front side of the
that's
outpost,
dope.
But what we're gonna do.
That's so dope. You guys were just talking about the Minecraft market. Look at that. That's sick. I love that part of the gaming world. I love because there's no achievement milestone or accolade. There's no progression system or battle pass. It's just pure love. Like, people love to build, models in Minecraft and stuff. I think that's cool. I can see why she's their spokesperson. Yeah, she's super charming. I don't know. I like the new trend of having the main host have like an accent. Like, I've noticed that with shows recently. It's probably pure coincidence here, but still.
Do is we're going to build the whole structure. We're going to prepare everything. So everything is built now. We focus on the front side. We're going to be preparing for the next step. So now it should be ready. So we're heading back into the outpost. The path is valid. What we want now is to fortify that first room. As you can see, it's pretty open. So what we want to do is we want to point the player into a direction. So we'll be using the corrosive cube in this example to kind of deny area for the player. So we'll be pushing that player, and we'll also be using some blocks. So the idea here is that we're going to try to use some different types of traps. We've got short-range traps, we've got long-range traps, we've got traps that are, in this case, harmless to the player, but that Iron Claw will be able to pull the player into another set of trap. In this case, we're going to be putting down an impaler. On top of that, we're going to be putting the bomb ejector, because what we want is a long-range trap with chaotic output. So let's try out this setup.
So here Enoch is doing something very important. He's testing his outpost. Testing your outpost is the first layer of feedback that you will get about the effectiveness of your defenses. You literally put yourself in the shoes of the raider and experience the outpost as if the raider would be doing it. Here we can see that Enoch's latest setup is proven to be pretty effective.
So it's not a big setup, and there's still a bit of room left to add some stuff in there. So what I want to do is give the impression to the player that I've forgotten a small hole on the left side. So I'm going to try to lure the player outside the main path into this section here. So using a short-range trap, the impaler, and a long-range trap, I'm doing a combo here, hoping to get a kill. But if the player is quick, the player might jump out. And we've got here a corrosive cube waiting, and I'm going to be adding a incinerator right here, hoping to fry the player that manages to get outside of that range. And just for good measures, let's just add an impaler there, hoping the player will back up into it.
I think the most creative courses will be false paths.
Dead ends.
Yeah, like dead ends, because, well, I guess that's the problem with the little harvester guy. If you watch the harvester guy and where he goes, wouldn't a false path and a dead end, who's that going to trick, I guess? Couldn't I just stand in this room and wait for that guy to walk through it? And then I kind of know where to go?
It'd be a pretty slow way to play. Wouldn't it be quicker to just run and then double back?
Yeah, speed might be an issue. I'm just wondering if they would allow you then to create, like... Yeah, you couldn't do that. I was thinking you could create two paths to the end, and so he would take either path to confuse the player, but then that wouldn't be a dead end. Put a trap that will destroy the harvester early on. I don't think you can do that. The harvester is a mechanic that is necessary. You can't get rid of the harvester, as far as I know. That would break the whole game, because the player has to be able to see where the harvester's going as part of the...
So you clear the level when the harvester can get all the way through as well?
No, I think he's just there as he's like a soft... It's like in Ghost of Tsushima where you slide up and it tells you what direction to go. He's like a very soft waypoint. If you're watching him and where he's going, you have a generic idea of where to go. I thought I saw in the gameplay the harvester got killed by a trap in one of the early walkthroughs.
See, I was wondering if you, at least in some respect, have to protect the harvester, then in that way it's kind of a big, long escort mission.
What?
And we all know how people feel about escort missions. They
But-
love them.
They love them.
They're the best part of any game.
Oh yeah, I like escort missions and missions where you have to chase somebody.
Yes.
Scripted chases are the best, where you can't capture them for a certain amount of time.
Right.
Yeah,
Man, that's fun.
it's the best.
They should put more of that in games.
Yeah, can I have a whole game like that? I want all of my choices to not really matter. Just make it a 2-hour-long interactive cutscene. You might be able to cheat.
I might have bumped the wire.
You might be able to cheat with that, the angle here.
Hmm.
When the harvester died, though, was it the player's fault? Because did the player get the harvester killed, like the raider? Did the raider get the harvester killed, or can you literally set up the course to kill the harvester? That seems kind of cheap. I don't know. We'll have to keep watching.
Again, we're going to be heading into testing, trying to see if that setup is going to be working as I hope it will.
Well, I think what this is a really good example of is just how iterative the building is. With each trap setup that you create, you can swap backwards between building and testing out, and you can try out each one of your setups as you go along. And of course, it's never just about one trap or one guard. Every setup is all about the combination of different things and how they work together. And being able to test really allows you to go in and make sure that all the traps are performing exactly the way that you want and would expect. And this
Yeah, like the harvester died right there, but it looked like he was the player was the cause. The player tripped the flame, and then the flame killed the harvester.
allows you to make sure that only when you're really ready, you set your outpost loose on the world.
Yeah, so we're pretty much done with that first room. We're going to wrap it up here for this one, and we're going to get prepared for the next part. We are now a bit further inside the outpost, and this room is pretty big. So what I want to do, I don't want to break it down into smaller chunks, so we'll use AI guards in order to defend it. So I'll use the Enforcer, which is a mid-range guard, put it behind the path, hopefully shooting the player in the back.
Up in the corner, too, you can see this is a medium difficulty, and it's only letting him build so much capacity. He's at 2,183 out of 2,500. So he can't just go crazy. He can't fill a room with so many enemies that, it becomes insurmountable.
So yes, guards. Guards provide a powerful outpost defense. As opposed to traps or snap to the grid, guards are dynamic. They have an AI, they will force the player to move, and they accomplish this by repositioning to keep the player in the line of sight and keeping the pressure on them. Here we see that Enoch is placing a warmonger behind this column, probably hoping to surprise unsuspecting raiders. When placing guards, you're able to rotate them in any direction that you want, and interacting with the guards, players can equip different types of augmentations on them. Here, plating is put on this warmonger. This offers builders a multitude of ways to surprise the raider and ultimately get the kill on them. So looking a little higher up in this area, Enoch places a Hornet. Hornet is an amazing unit. It's one of the units we've seen seldom so far in the playthrough, but it's amazing because it can fly around in the air and shoots a slow-moving projectile that has homing properties. Another strong point of the Hornet is that since they can fly, there's really no place that they can't go.
Is this a PC-only game? It's my understanding this is hitting all platforms, but the test will be on Steam, I believe. I could be wrong. I thought this was hitting all platforms. Yeah, it is. It's hitting all platforms, but I believe the playtest will be on Steam.
Another really cool feature that we're seeing here in Meteor Maker is the ability for us to record guards. Recording allows the builder to really record the patrol path of their guards and really orchestrate the defense of the guards within the outpost. Individually, traps and guards are fairly simple to counter. It's really through the combination of traps and guards together that a builder will be able to surprise the raider, challenge them, and get the kill on them.
So he literally just made that flight path. He hit record and he did all that.
So I think we've got a pretty good setup here, so we're ready for the next section. Here we are now in the last room of the outpost. It's the Gen Mat room. So as you can see, I've already placed down some guards, some traps. The fence is ready. What we're going to be doing is making this room pretty. Right now I'm using a deco that replaces the face of the block you put them on. This is really cool because it can create a different atmosphere to the whole room. We have different types of decos, and we also have decals, which I like to think of as paint because it actually adds paint on top of the existing structure. It can also be added on top of some decos. What we see here is another type of deco. This deco is going to be added on top of the existing block. So it allows you to mix and match different styles.
Yeah.
I like how he's referring to decorations as deco, like, or he's like using it as like shorthand. These decos. He's almost to his limit though. Capacity's at 2444, 2,444 out of the 2,500.
Yes, give me all that deco. I'm all about decoration. I really like the fact that I can make a room my room. I can decorate it. Take the time to do it as well because you have all the time in the world to build. You know, you're chill, you can do it. And, you know, for me, it's really exciting. And I also appreciate the fact that you can use those elements to distract the raider and then you have a trap. And here it is. You have the kill because he was looking at this beautiful decal
He's not
that
a
you
real
could just...
gamer.
How's that?
Butter said, "Why would you not trap the heck out of this room? He's not a real gamer."
Oh.
It's funny.
Well, my guess, that's funny, but my guess would be, isn't the phase 2, once they grab the red thing, they have to get out.
Right.
So there'll probably be a second set of traps they set and assign to quote-unquote phase 2, like they don't show up until they've grabbed the thing. They haven't talked about that yet. That's probably coming up.
Right there. And of course, right now it's a selection that we have, but it's going to grow throughout the time. You know, we're going to have more decals, more paint, more everything. So that's super exciting to see that. I'm really excited about that.
I think deco is one of the great part that we have in the game because as we were saying, it's not only attractive, it's also part of the gameplay. So now we're done with the whole building of the outpost and we're ready to activate the outpost and get some raiders to try it out. We are now back in the sanctuary, the outpost.
So they skipped that. That's not a complete thing. Because when they ran the first one, they said after you grab it, they called it like phase 2 or something. And new traps were suddenly showing up. Or did the traps all repair themselves? Yes, the aesthetics of this game gives me Descent vibes. Descent. That is...
Yeah, the escape after you get to the core. Descent was the like you're flying a spaceship through a base on Mars or on the moon, and you could fly in any. It was one of the first games where you had full movement in every dimension.
360, yeah.
And you would get to the core, fight a boss, and then have to escape before the base blew up. It was cool. It was difficult as heck.
That's
super
what
hard.
Okay, you did that in Descent. Why?
Yeah.
I thought that was Forsaken. What did you do?
Well, Forsaken is a Descent clone.
Oh, okay. It was similar.
They're the same game.
Yeah. Forsaken was cool because you could play it on console, and you could play multiplayer, like against other people.
It was an N64 game.
It was. It was good.
Mm-hmm.
It had like the girl on the front with the tattoo.
Yeah. Hard.
Post has been offline for a while. Raiders have raided it, so we're heading into the replay station because we want to watch what happened while they were raiding. So we're going to be watching a raider called Sour Plant raid our outpost. What's really cool about this feature is that we're going to be looking at how Sour Plant is going to be raiding the outpost. Where is Sour Plant looking? How that player is going to be behaving, moving around in the outpost.
Wait, so if I build one, I can see... They're going to store the recordings on a server, I guess, and I can watch the people that beat it? And then go back and, like, you know, make it harder? I wonder if you can go back and make it harder, like update it to version 2.0 or something.
It's a really good opportunity to understand if the outpost is as successful as you hope it will be. And on top of that, if you notice that there's some things you want to change, you can always exit out of the replay, head back into building, do some modification. The outpost is going to be taken offline while you're doing the modifications, but as soon as you're out, you can put it back online and continue getting those raiders to attack the outpost and earning more kills. One thing I would like you to look at is at the top of the screen, there's a timeline. And on that timeline, there are a couple of skulls up on there. Those are the death markers. This is the time where the player died. So you can always use the skip ahead to go into that specific moment and watch the raiders die. Or you can watch in between because you might want to know how the player managed to evade the trap, how they managed to take out your defenses. This will give you clues on how you want to update your outpost. A good thing to know is that you can also watch your friends, because you're going to be able to invite your friends into raiding your outpost. And this is a really fun feature, because after that, you can have a laugh with your friends. They can give you tips on how to modify the outpost, make it better. So replays is a great tool for builders.
Yeah, the replay is another really cool feature of the Sanctuary. But the main feature of the Sanctuary are these 5 advisors and all the cool stuff that you can unlock from them. Whether
Yeah, I could see making a course and then shoutcasting people running through it, like reaction content. That's right. Yeah. Like, let's see how the guy got through. You know, he only had like four deaths on this one. So I'm so curious about phase 2.
Whether it's traps and guards or weapons, suits and consumables, each one of these characters is a master of their field.
Indeed. And so now, coming out of the replay, Enoch knows how to make his outpost more deadly. He's obtained enough resources to unlock a new trap, and each trap can be modified, basically alter their basic properties. Some of it can have their range increased, others can have their projectile modified. Overall, they give the player more opportunity to surprise and outwit the players.
So the more resources you get, you can make harder courses. Like you can make a stronger incinerator. You can modify it.
So Enoch decides to purchase the Plasma Sentinel here, which is an amazing trap that will target player around 360 degrees. It's a great trap to pressure raiders in open areas.
So I'm heading back to the command center, and you'll notice that the command center is flashing red and there's a skull on top of it. This means that I've got an outpost that earned some kills. So we're going to head back into the outpost, and you can see I've earned 15 kills, which means there's probably more than one raider that died in there. So that's good news. As I'm heading back into the outpost, I've just unlocked that new trap. So I want to find a good place to set up that trap and have better defenses. So I'm looking for death markers. There are these things that float around, and death markers will indicate where raiders died. If you look at a death marker, you will see who died and how they died. In this case, the Impaler was a pretty good setup. I've earned 2 kills out of a couple of raiders. That's pretty good. You want to look for a lot of density in those death markers. That's how you know that your setups are good. I like to think of it as a heat map. The more there are, the better the defense is. So when you enter a room and that room is kind of empty, you know that something's lacking in this room. You can leave it as is if you want to have a breather for the raider, because sometimes that's what you want. Or you can start adding some more defenses. And I'm thinking this open area here is a great place to be using that new Plasma Sentinel. So I'm going to be putting down 2 of those traps. Hopefully the player will not be able to take them both out before he gets hit by one of the shots. So I think this is going to be adding pretty good defenses to this room and completing that whole room.
Well, we've been through a lot of, building with you.
Yeah, they didn't address that either, Tommy. In Mario Maker, you have to beat the course before you can publish it. Because, like, if you set up a room that, like, sure, the pathway of the harvester can get through the room, but I could set up a room that you can't get through. You put 3 traps on the main door, and you can't get through it fast enough. You know what I'm saying? I'm wondering if that's they haven't addressed that, and they also haven't addressed phase 2. I wonder if they will.
Enoch, we know everything about building right now, but I want your final thoughts on building. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. I don't know if I told you everything about building, but we went through one of the types of builds I like to do, because you can approach building in different ways. So in this one, what I did was I started by building up the facade, then the structure. I've updated the path by creating the rooms and putting that harvester all over the place, adding some combos with traps and guards, recording stuff. Then I went in and decoded the whole thing. And once it was up, what I like to do is head to the replay, watch how people die, how they circumvent my defenses, head in. If I can, unlock a new trap, a new mod, update the outpost, put it back online. And what's really cool about the whole building in Meet Your Maker is that you can own multiple outposts. So once I'm done with building, I can go raiding, or I can just go right back into building and start a new outpost, build it up, put it online. So it's an endless loop, but it's always satisfying to get those kills.
And this concludes our gameplay demo. Now, it is really up to you to come and join us and experience the world of Meet Your Maker BioSafe by joining us in our playtest, which will start on August 23rd. All you have to do is either scan the QR.
Yeah, you can see weekly invitations to to the playtest. To the playtest right there. So you can scan the QR code. There'll be weekly invitations. Oh, it will be under NDA, so I probably won't waste my time with it. I don't have time for that.
QR code that you're seeing right now on your screen, or go on meetyourmakergame.com and sign up. Additionally, starting today, join us on our social media to vote for exclusive decals that we designed just for you. Vote for the one you like the most, and it will be selected to be included into the game once the game is live. Anyone who sign up starting from today up to 3rd of October will receive these exclusive decals. So go and vote. Select the one you love the most, and it will be added onto the game. It's up to you. So don't forget to sign up for the closed playtest. Now we're going to be going through some co-op. So it's live. It's very exciting. So
yeah, I have two questions that I don't know if they answer them on their website in a frequently asked questions or something like that. We'll check that in a moment, or maybe you guys can check that for me while we're watching this. Number one, do you have to prove that it's beatable? Like, do you have to play the course before publishing it? And number two, how did they get to the phase 2 thing? Because the one course they beat had a phase 2. Once they grabbed the thing at the end, new traps emerged. So exiting was different. It wasn't just as simple as running out. So let's see what co-op looks like.
Inouk build an outpost for us, and Pierre and Ash are gonna try to survive. So let's see how it goes.
Good luck, guys.
Okie dokie. Let's give this a go.
Thanks.
All right, what have we got here? Well, this does look like an Inouk outpost. Some sort of Medusa thing going on. Pierre, what have you got loadout-wise?
I got the arc barrier and the Wastelander harpoon launcher.
There's no,
All right,
nothing
so I'm
on the
scouting
outside.
the interior here. So far, so good.
Yeah, well, I mean, so far so good in the sense of no traps, but
Yeah.
I don't like rooms with no traps.
You know what happens when you get out of those outposts, right?
Yeah, okay, well.
Oh, harvester coming in.
Okay, so we're on the right
Norman.
route, that's for sure. It's at least a good start. Go, just go ahead. Oh, well,
Yeah, I'll go
let
the arc
you-
barrier. Preemptively defending.
God.
Oh, swordsman.
Okay,
Ooh,
saved
shot
your
in the
life,
legs.
saved your life. Swordsman behind us, and...
Wait.
Ah, okay, I'm good, we're
You
good,
okay?
we're good. I'm in charge, we got it. Where did they come
I
from?
got you. Let me see.
Oh, cube, yeah, sneaky. Oh, you nearly got a harpoon in your
Face.
direction. All right. Ah, nice room.
Oh, watch out. Trap on the top left. I got it.
Nearly got me. Resources to pick up. Okay, Harvey's going down there. All right.
So no worries, guys. There's
Yeah.
no more traps here. You can just pick it up and
Yeah,
go.
well, I don't like being pinned into this corner, and I don't like Harvey pinning me in.
Grab the gen mat. I'll
Yeah, I'm
drop
gonna
some
get the gem man. I'm
defenses.
just gonna wait for Harvey to clear the.
Well,
the
there's
area. I don't want him to
two
snag
gen
me.
mats. So like, do you get
Ready?
two? You
Grab
get
it, I'll drop
double?
it.
Ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Whoop! Stuff on the floor. Oh my hornet incident!
Oh.
I'm
was so close.
I'm down.
I got it. Oh, maybe. Gotta retrieve some ammo over here.
Yeah, you gotta come
Wouldn't you
get
want
me.
to have two?
I'm
You're
coming.
playing 2 people, so you could both get.
Yeah, I suppose you
Materials.
both get the resources. Yeah.
Almost
I'm
had
telling
you.
you what,
can
flying
do it,
enemies in a
come
game like
on.
Good
this,
to get you this time.
people are gonna hate
Where is it?
that.
Oh, there we are.
Oh, you can revive. Okay, so
Got
you
one
can.
kill
You
so
can
far,
revive
so
your
that's
ally.
good.
Yeah.
You, sir, have been
Great
revived.
news.
Watch out.
Watch
There's-
out what?
There's a bomb trap right above the gen mat,
Where?
and I'm out of projectiles. I need to find some
Oh, you
ammo.
got loads of stuff you stuck in. Look at your random bullets all over the roof.
Yeah, let me
could be mine.
get this one because I'm worried I'm gonna
All right, I'm gonna go get it.
trigger it.
Wow, that's acid. Oh,
Oh no!
Okay.
I was just getting my harpoon back, and I interfaced with a corrosive cube in an unacceptable
Interface
way.
with a corrosive cube in an unacceptable way.
Reviving you again.
Thank you. All right.
There's
Right,
no
where
balanced
were we?
acidity here.
All right, I got my
Gas
corrosive.
piston, take that out.
Let me grab the gen mat.
I've
Still
got
don't have the gen mat.
I've got the gen mat. Do you have the gen
I was
mat?
very careful grabbing it because I know second wave traps might appear.
I doubt it.
You
So-
cleaned that room pretty well.
One of your ammo up there, top right, by the way.
Where? Oh, yeah, good point. Thanks.
I mean, look at those walls. You guys did pretty good work on those guys.
I'm going to take
All right,
this.
I'll wait for you. Where are you at? Okay, there you
Yeah,
are.
I'm here.
Oh, bomb trap in the back. Watch out.
Whoa!
Ooh,
That was close. Thanks for the.
almost pulled one in.
Okay, so that room is bound to have something
All right,
in it.
we've
Oh,
got-
yeah, there we go.
No, okay, you go. Have you got anything?
I'm gonna drop.
Oh, nice.
I like how he tried to make it look like it was going to be an easy run.
Watch out. Watch out, what?
Room.
There was a cannon-backed bomb right beside the...
Yep. Oh, that's down now. Grenading.
Watch out. Good job.
Okay, what are we doing down here? We got it? Have we got this? Have we got this?
Yeah, we got this.
Cannon back. I shot him between the legs.
What?
Cannon back still in play. He's down.
Got it.
Down.
I'm out of ammo. It's all you now.
It's all me.
However,
I'm
I got grenade. Let me throw a grenade.
I got a grenade.
Where's the exit?
Do that. I'm supposed to throw grenades.
There we
What's the
go.
chance of that going wrong?
No chances taken. All right, now I got some harpoons back.
I mean, we just have to walk out this door, right? It's like it's nothing more.
Yeah, always walk out the door without looking. It's always a good idea.
Something.
What?
Oh, so close. Look at this. Where did they come from?
We got
I
it.
don't even know.
Ooh, that was a good
Last
one.
defense has failed, but
All right.
a nice run, guys.
Good one, good one.
Yeah, that'll be a blast with Hilly. He'll be dying the whole time. Yeah, they just have not established how to do second wave. That to me is one of the more creative parts. Like, sure, you can set up traps along the way, but once somebody is all the way inside and now everything's on the line, right? They have to get out. I think second wave is where the real challenges are going to be built. Because he had like 6 wasps up in the ceiling and bomb traps everywhere. That would have been way harder if they'd have been by themselves. Like, they wouldn't have been able to do it because they did a couple of revives.
Okay. Clever use of traps.
We did it. Very good. I like that. Where were the hornets? They were like, I came around the corner from picking up the gen mat, and there was just a wall of hornets coming out of the wall.
I was using the holo cube in order to. I put a physical mod on it, so the invisible mod, which makes it like second wave. So before second wave, it's physical, so the hornets can't go out. So I recorded the hornets going in, and once you pick up the gen mat, second wave triggers, and the hornets came out. And the same was true for the first room. So I prepared everything out, laid them down, recorded them, and waited for you guys to come out.
That bomb trap after you got the gen mat was also very tricky to... I was able finally to shoot it, get the gen mat, get out of there. Really cool outpost.
Thanks.
Very nice.
Well, that was co-op. I really enjoyed that. I love the fact that I can invite my friends to play with me and go through Outposts. And that's it for today. I really want to thank Pierre and Inouk for taking us through building and raiding. And of course, Ash for going through the essence of Meet Your Maker. Do not forget to sign up for the closed playtest and get a chance to be selected to come and play the game. We're waiting for you. Also, join our social media to know anything about Meet Your Maker. Again, thank you for being here. We hope you enjoy the show, and we'll see you very soon.
So they want people to sign up for the closed test. Yeah, this is definitely niche. I mean, I think there's an audience for it. I do. I think there's an audience for it, but I do think it's not going to be some big giant mainstream game. I like it. I think we could have a lot of fun with it, to be quite honest. I think the biggest challenge is it costs money.
I think the uphill battle is that it's a new game. People love to make their own levels for games, but if you look at the most successful iterations of that idea, it's Mario. Like, everybody likes Mario already.
Right.
When they released the TED editor so you could make your own OG Wolfenstein and Rise of the Triad maps, it was people who already liked the game and then could make levels for it. Or when you could make your own Lemmings levels with traps, like similar to this, like
I forgot
trap
about
game.
that.
But it was people already loved the game, and then they could make levels for their friends or play their buddies' levels or release levels as kind of shareware to share with the general audience of other players. With a brand new IP like this, you don't have any already existing interest, so it's definitely an uphill climb for attention, I would think, at the least.
Yeah, the Portal community maps were really good.
Right, and you already had a game that people loved.
Yeah.
And then you released the map maker.
Yeah. See, I think that's the thing, though. I wonder if it's a cool... Is the concept cool enough to create a community, right? I think so. I think that the concept in and of itself is cool enough. I just wonder if the challenge they're actually going to run into is that you're going to have this sort of, how many permutations of trap rooms can you build, right? You have cubes, slants, and like 6 different traps and 4 different units. They're going to have to add new trap types, new unit types.
Something, because otherwise it's going to get real. I think it would quickly get kind of tired.
Yeah, you would just know, I know what this is. I know what this is going to look like. It'll start small depending upon feedback and the community, feedback to the community. It'll grow or die just like Dead by Daylight. They should stick to Dead by Daylight. I actually really, really respect what they're doing. The idea, like, this is actually pretty ambitious, and nobody's doing this right now. I mean, there are versions of this in Mario Maker and some of the other games we just referenced, but no one's coming out and being like, "Oh, we're gonna make a brand new game," and that's the premise of the game.
Is that you built your own levels?
There were challenge maps in Fortnite Creative that guys built, and big streamers liked running them.
And if you want to play cooperative first-person puzzle/shooter, Deep Rock Galactic did pretty well last year, but I think you have the advantage there of having professionally made maps. And you don't have, well, presumably, you don't have to wonder, is this going to suck? Because it's the official levels. Whereas you could, if it's a community, and I guess with the rating system, you can get an idea if people have played it before you.
Yeah. Well, and that's the question, like, is that, are we seeing the beginning of, crowdsourced games where people are making the levels? Because there are people that believe this, and we obviously don't need to get into a Halo debate, but there are people that think that, like, Halo Infinite will be saved by Forge because the community's already hacked their way into it and they've made some just insanely cool things. And, that there are people that think, like, oh yeah, that'll bring that game back from the brink. We could be on the precipice of this becoming a more common thing of, like, rogues were not really popular, and then, like, Binding of Isaac and Dead Cells paved the way, and then you got games like Hades winning awards. So in 5 years we could have an entire industry or an entire genre of the maker genre, and this could be one of the early adopters. They could really be making a smart choice right now. They could be. This could pay out big for them. Just cut back. What is this actual thoughtful conversation? I thought Derek just brought the laughs. Well, yeah, he does that too. We'll do that later.
You want more jokes?
He's going to be on the round table, so we're sort of greasing the wheels for legitimate, maybe not legitimate, but more focused, more serious conversation. There is no saving Halo.
You can certainly make it a lot better for the people who already love it or want to play it. They're not going to win over, like somebody like me who hasn't played Halo since the first game. I don't care about Forge.
Right.
But I think if I was a big Halo guy, that would be the reason I would go back to it.
Is if the community's doing really cool stuff. Right.
Because you're not going to play it by yourself, not after the campaign's over.
I also wonder what the point is of going into a brutal outpost over one with no traps, for example. Do you get more resources or something? Well, there are difficulty ratings on the outposts. So the more, like, a medium, it limited how many resources the builder could spend. And then, like, a harder one, I'm assuming you'd be able to spend, like, way more resources. So when you beat it, you get resources to, like, go back and buy upgrades and stuff for your own outposts, like, that you want to build.
I think you should get new colors for your hat.
I think you can customize your character.
Change the little white stripes on your baton. You can change them to yellow or purple.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to earn it, and you can only use it for one baton, not all your batons, just one.
Yeah, take the Sea of Thieves route. Like, it's super hardcore and hard, and all you can really do is change what your character looks like.
So many cuss words.
It can be saved.
I have so many cuss words.
Define saved. Derek is like a mix of Dan Aykroyd and Tarantino. I could see that. People are always obsessed with, like, trying to figure out who people look like when you're streaming.
Oh, and you get random stuff when you're the foreigner in the country. Oh, you look like Robin Williams. No, I don't. No, I don't.
That's funny.
It's not an insult. He was handsome.
But yeah.
But I don't look like him.
Yeah. You look like Brad Pitt. Like, no, I don't.
Oh, Leonardo DiCaprio? No. No, I don't.
That's good. He teaches in South Korea, by the way. He's speaking from experience. Halo Forge will 100% breathe new life into the game. Players tend to be better at making content than the devs when it comes to adding to or fixing games, as modding communities tend to show.
Isn't that Bethesda's entire business model? Put the game out, and then a couple years later, there's some good maps in the community mods. And then if you're lucky and you made one of the really good ones, they might offer you a job.
Well, I mean, that is true, but it's also not true, because I think sometimes people act like Skyrim and Fallout 4 were garbage cans and the community like saved the day.
Well, I'm half joking. I love Fallout 4.
Right. And Skyrim was actually wonderful when it first came out. I remember playing it and being like, I've never played a game like this. This is fantastic. You know? So I think that... Yo, what's good, Feed? I see you in the chat. I do. I think there's room for community source, community funded stuff where it, you know, people sort of pull the game out of the fire, as it were. Or in this case, not pull the game out of the fire. Like, Meet Your Maker may literally grow because people decide that it's fun and they want to make maps and they want to do it.
In principle, I like the idea of having more games that have opportunities for the community to do stuff that isn't going to get them in trouble, like with a copyright infringement. Like, this is part of the game. You're supposed to make stuff to share with your friends. And then the idea that if you are just a genius at that particular aesthetic of game design, level design, and you make a name for yourself, like, this guy's maps are the best.
Right.
And then maybe you can get your foot in the door when otherwise you had no opportunity because you didn't have the money to go to like a gaming university. I think that's cool in principle. I don't know if it works out very often, but it's a cool idea.
Well, and it touches down on gaming preservation and emulation and modding, and how some companies are like super rigid and like anti doing anything with their content, and then other companies are just like, yeah, go for it. You see Mike Myers and Gary Sinise? You guys just saying. Zubair says, I just got back. Are we talking about how I can't tell white people apart? Oh, look, Madam is in the stream.
Gary Sinise has one expression. One. He's just this all the time.
He does kind of look like that. He does kind of look like half frown.
Always.
Even when he's happy. He's like,
no matter what is happening on CSI New York, he looks like this.
I couldn't be happier.
I think there was a murder. I really like this new girl I'm dating.
He was good in Green Mile. He was only in for, 7 minutes maybe. He was so good. Such a small part, but he did such an excellent job. Just watched the trailer. It looks like it'll have a good community around it, in my opinion, but didn't see gameplay. Dead by Daylight was a horrible, jank-ridden mess when it released, but it was fun, and look what happened.
Is that the one where you're running away from a serial killer?
I think so.
Like, you play with your friends, and you're trying to escape. Like, one guy is chasing, and the other people are trying to run away.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen people playing on Purple. It's a survival horror asymmetric multiplayer online game.
Yeah. That's the one I'm thinking of. Mm-hmm. So I can be like the Scream guy, and my 3 friends can be trying to escape the haunted mansion or whatever. Yeah,
Friday the 13th tried to do something similar, but they didn't. There was nothing crowdsourced about it. So Friday the 13th didn't go very far. Like, one guy's running around as Jason. I would use like a voice changer and run around.
That'd be funny.
It was funny to stream. It was funny to stream, but it's kind of like those games. It makes me think of Evolve. If you remember Evolve, it was like 3 people hunting a monster.
Right.
It just falls into a very predictable lane. Friday the 13th was like, it just, I don't know. 7 out of 10 games feel like exactly like the last one. Like, just the same things happen. So, and that would be the worry with Meet Your Maker, is you do raids for a couple of weeks, and then they all start to blend together and feel very similar. Like, they're going to have to, I think, increase what people can do and give people the opportunity to, expand on the traps and even the geometry. I would even say that even the geometry would need to expand and improve so that you could make more elaborate pathways and rooms. Because right now you've got cubes and you've got ramps, which I think is fine. It's kind of a catch-22. If you make it too complex, then nobody wants to make anything because they get paralysis. They're like, this is too difficult to make anything.
But as it is, it looks a little bit boring. Visually, anyway.
Not canceled. The license was pulled for future content. Wait, is that what happened with Friday the 13th? The license got pulled so they couldn't do anything more with it? I didn't know that. I just thought maybe they couldn't garner a player base. I mean, it's possible that the license got pulled because it wasn't doing well. I don't actually know. It just looks visually bland. I don't think it's meant to look visually stunning. I think it's meant to look, post-apocalyptic and pretty straightforward. You're trying to get through puzzles and traps. And ladders, yeah. It's great we have a fortune on passport picks. One person can get 500 copies for the entire community. You guys are so bad. Yeah. You guys are licensed to make those jokes? Okay. It's pretty impressive how they've not only maintained but grown that game over 6 years. What is the progression? There's different... as far as I could tell, there's different weapons, perks, and loadouts you can unlock so that you're stronger when you're raiding. Also, you can unlock upgrades for the traps themselves. So, Old Chair does not look thrilled to be out of retirement. Yeah. Yeah. DX Racers. Oh, there it is. Explaining what happened to Friday the 13th planned support and cancellation rights lawsuit. Well, there you go. It'll run 1440 60 on the Xbox Series S. How about a new Texas Chainsaw game? I thought they were doing one. You think you'll be able to use the killer curse freely? I don't know what you're talking about. Are you talking about something in that game? Hang on, I gotta customize the channel. Guys, we are getting ready to do the Reforge Roundtable. Me, Ginger Prime, 30 and So Gaming, and my brother is going to be joining us. It's a weekly podcast we do on this channel. Can I just get a super gory horror version of Destroy All Humans? Make it Jason Voorhees Friday the 13th theme or Mike Myers and Halloween. My DX Racer squeaks for 2 minutes every time I touch it. My fiance wants to throw it out. Thankfully, this one doesn't squeak. What are the topics today? We're going to be talking about Sony's worried about the Call of Duty thing with the Activision, the Microsoft Activision acquisition. New Worlds has an update. There's an Iron Man game leak that Mike's going to talk about. We talked about that this week. And then Derek's going to be talking about will the Sony trial culture that I think is coming, I think more and more game trials will be a thing, will that lead to front-heavy games? Because he played a game recently that he felt like was pretty front-heavy. Like, it was so good, and then it just gets real bad at the end. I would even say Elden Ring kind of fell into that trap a teeny bit for some people, not all. Some people felt like the front half of Elden Ring was like perfect, and then the back half gets kind of rough. You don't need to tell us whose stories or who, we can tell. Okay. It's awful. I've had it since 2016. Derek will be talking about balanced acidity of the round table.
I bring the balance to the acidity.
That's right. That's right. Might want a head start on the Myra Rickery. What? Hogwarts Legacy. Oh, Hogwarts Legacy and Killing Curse. Sorry, I messed up on the sentence. Do you think you'll be able to use the Killing Curse freely? I mean...
Wouldn't that be like God mode?
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. In my mind, Harry Potter or Hogwarts Legacy, I think is going to surprise people. I think it's going to be like an actual, like, really thoughtful, well-built RPG. And if that's the case, from everything I've seen, I don't think you're going to be able to, like, run around and just do, like, Death Curse on everything. You know, Abacadabra or whatever they say. It sounds like Abacadabra. The Death Curse sounds like Abacadabra. I don't think you're going to be able to walk around and do that. I don't even know if they're going to let you have that one. I don't know. But my assumption is there'll be some sort of balance to the game. Like, you can't just go stupefy, and just, like, spam. You're going to have probably some, what amounts to a mana meter or a stamina meter.
Something.
Yeah, because you can... Your movement's pretty much like run, walk, and roll on the ground to get out of the way of stuff and jump, I believe. Avada Kedavra, yeah. Supposed to be like, what, cadaver, the second word? Got a bonus today. My lovely wife said I can get a gaming PC. There you go, Mike. Get you one. Let me get you guys the link of where we are headed. We are going to start doing the Reforge Roundtable at 2 p.m. Eastern on Fridays, but that also means what we're going to start doing is giving ourselves time to set up. Lately, I was like running the clock all the way down to like 5 minutes till, and then I would try to set up the scene with the guys, and then it would take too long because we'd like to start right at 2, so that way when we do the after party, I'm not keeping these guys too long, and then that's another great perk. That's another great perk for members. So we are going to get ready to do that right now. I'm going to put a link in chat just in case redirect doesn't work. The Reforge Roundtable is not members only. It's for everybody. We do an after show when we're done that's just for members. And then tonight is members only with my brother. So
wait, what?
Like, wait, what? Us going out.
That's not what we talked about.
It's going to go out and hang out with my friends. And so what we're about to go to right now is open for everybody. It's open to the public. So you're going to get redirected to the next stream, and we'll be live in about 15 minutes. But I'm also going to put a link in chat just in case redirect doesn't work, okay? So we will see you guys in about 15 minutes for the Reforge Roundtable. It'll be me, 30 and Still Gaming, Ginger Prime, and my brother. And then again, if you're a membership or you want to be a part of members-only content like the stream tonight or the after show that will take place in about 2 hours or hour and a half or so, that takes place after the Reforge Roundtable. Make sure you get yourself a membership. Maybe be there during the roundtable. Maybe everybody will go crazy and gift a bunch of members so that we have a bunch of people here tonight and for the after party. So we will see you guys in a little bit. Thanks so much for watching, and yeah.
And I'll see you in the next one.